Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Royal Instinct. Today, we're going to be watching a few videos, including cartoons such as Peter Griffin, Millhouse, Naval Ravikant, and the truth about work, love, and freedom. What we're here, what we're doing here today is we're trying to establish what is true, what is factual, what is made up, how the elites are controlling you. The elites want you locked up in your house. The elites want you to be subservient. They want you um, to be docile and to, in essence, neuter you. They want to strip you of your power, and they want you to be someone who is easy to control and manipulate. Why is this all happening? Is because we are in a time of the world. We are in times of crisis where people have lost all meaning. People have lost all hope. People don't know who to turn to. They don't know which institutions to trust anymore. They don't know who is on their side and what can be done about it. If you look at social media, everybody's trying to people are trying to segregate you. People are trying to divide and conquer, in essence. And the people at the top, the elites running the world, are the ones that are conquering you. Okay. I am someone who, like yourself, probably is looking at the world and it's just, it doesn't make sense anymore. People are like, I myself am like, where are we all headed right now? Okay, if we all are at war with each other, if we all don't get on, if we all are worried about our future, if there is no future to be had, then what is the whole fucking point of it all, right? I'm someone who's looked at the system and it doesn't make sense to me anymore. The dating market doesn't make sense. The financial market doesn't make sense. The tax system doesn't make sense anymore. A lot of institutions, a lot of things that you did have faith in before have failed. There's no more religion. People aren't religious anymore. People aren't connected to their communities, in essence. And because I've had enough, because I'm someone who wants to take back control of my own destiny, I'm willing to tear up the system. I'm willing to walk away from the system. And when you're walking away, you are in essence on your own. Friends and family might look at you and thinking that you've gone crazy, that you've gone mad. They don't like the way you're talking, the way you're handling yourself, but you're just someone who's being a realist and seeing the game for what it is. And whilst I am walking away from the system, the current societal norms, I am establishing my own kingdom. I'm establishing my own sovereign land, my own principality, my own country. And I want to build a nation. I want to build a kingdom full of people who think like me, people who have the same values, people who want to just enjoy life, who want to experience all the luxuries of the world, people who want to, in essence, build something real, build real connections, build real friendships, have friends that you can fully rely on, fully trust. And they're the type of people that I want to be around. Okay, now, the good thing that we have right now is we have an internet connection. We are connected all over the world. We can meet like-minded people all across the globe in an instant. And I'm here to gather all the people. I'm here to assemble all the Avengers and, find all the superheroes in the world, find the real heroes, find the people who have potential, people who want to do something extraordinary, and bring together like-minded people to build something new. If you have that calling in your life, if you also has had enough of how the current state of the world is, then you're the type of person that I want to speak to. Okay, you're the type of person that I want to be friends with. You're the type of person that I want to build trillion-dollar companies with. People who I want you to help you build a kingdom, and in return, I will build my kingdom, and together we will rule as supreme emperors of our own lands. you know, unless you are someone who's at the top, unless you are somebody who is in control of the resources, of the decision-making powers, then if you're not that person, you will always fail. Okay, why be a pawn in a game where you could be a king? Okay, and that is what I want for you to be. I want you to become a king. Once you become a king, life changes completely. Then you are somebody who has status, somebody who people look up to for leadership, for guidance, somebody, you become someone that people rely on. You give people hope. You become a leader. And that is what the world needs right now. People don't need more followers. People need real leadership. And that is what I'm here to bring back. But to be able to do that, you have to rid yourself of self-doubt. You have to rid yourself of fear, the fear of failure. And you have to embrace chaos. You have to embrace difficult times. You have to embrace different obstacles and overcome them. Okay, life is a series of obstacles that you, in essence, overcome. And the one who overcomes the biggest obstacles, the most difficult obstacles, ends up becoming the winner. Okay, and the winner takes all. This is a finite game. And we are here to take all the resources away from the evil elites, the people who do not have your best interest at heart. Okay, and the thing is, like, all the people at the bottom, most of the people you meet are actually good people. Okay, that is the funny thing. All the people at the top are corrupted by power, and all the people at the bottom are trustworthy, are good people at heart. Okay, but they do not have any say of any key decisions being made. And I'm here to change that. I'm here to change the game. I'm here to change and embrace chaos. Okay, let's start with Naval Ravikant, who is an angel investor. He is someone who, in essence, got quite lucky, right? He placed some bets, he made some money, and threw money into several companies such as Uber. And he was able to make a lot of money investing in those companies. Okay, and as his wealth grew, the more wealth you have, the easier it is to grow, right? Like, you know, if you start off with $1 million, it's easier to double that money, make 2 million, right? But if you start with $100, then if you double it, it's only $200. Okay, and it's going to take much longer to get to that million, right? He was able to leverage his wealth and is seen now as because of his wealth, a billionaire, somebody who's smart, somebody who people look to for guidance. But I'm here to challenge that he's only someone that got very, very lucky. Okay. Yes, he put himself in those positions, but he didn't build something from the ground up. He leveraged his wealth to gain more wealth and to build his fame, to build his brand, in essence. Okay, he wrote a book that people think, wow, man, this fucking book's amazing. If you read his book, The Almanac of Naval, it's just basic principles that you will find in all success books. Okay, but once you have that status symbol of, oh, I'm an author of a book, and then, you know, you're quite well known and it sells a few, 100,000 copies or whatever, people are quick to assume, without even reading the book, that you are a genius. Okay, and that is what I want you to figure out in life, to find out your zone of genius, so you can become somebody who is seen as highly intelligent, highly competent. And once you reach that place in life, then you'll be seen as a leader. And once you are seen as a leader and you establish a kingdom, you will be seen as a king. Okay, but let's jump into this video.
When you truly work for yourself, you won't have hobbies.
Hang on.
And you won't have vacations, but you won't have
go back to a normal job with a manager and a boss and the check-ins and 9 to.
Okay, let's start from the beginning.
From April 2nd, when you truly work for yourself, you won't have hobbies, You won't have weekends, and you won't have vacations.
What he's saying there is basically is that when you are in your life purpose, that every minute of your being is geared towards your life purpose. It is geared towards your zone of genius. Every waking minute is consumed by your goals. Every waking minute is consumed by discovering the next bit, getting to the next stage. And you might think that that sounds like a lot of hard work. The paradox is that it ceases to feel like work because you are in your life purpose. It becomes play. It's becomes really fun for you. It becomes something that is therapeutic, because you're able to fully engage and be fully present in creating the thing, the lane that you are working in, right? Because it becomes just a state of being instead of becoming something that's difficult or hard to manage. There is no more effort needed. It is just like full consumption, like you're playing a video game. Okay, it's just like, oh, like if you watch somebody who's playing a video game, if you play video games yourself, you understand this, that you're fully immersed in playing that game, in playing that role. But time goes by like that. Okay, you're not stuck in, analysis paralysis, where you're just overthinking things. You're just trying different things to figure out the objective, to get past that level, to beat that enemy that you're playing in the game. Okay, and that is the place that you want to be in life.
But you won't have work either.
This is the paradox of working for yourself, which every entrepreneur or every self-employed person is familiar with, which is that when you start working for yourself, you basically sacrifice this work-life balance thing. You sacrifice this work-life distinction. There's no more 9 to 5.
Why does work-life balance exist? Okay, why do you have to have work separate from your life? Okay, because most people are engaged in work that is that serves no great purpose. They're engaged in work that is easily replaceable. It has no meaning. It has no intrinsic value to your soul. It's just a means for you to extract money from your employer. But you don't want to be in that space. You want to be in a space where you're consumed by work that is meaningful to you, that is nourishment for your soul.
There's no more office. There's no one who's telling you what to do. There's no playbook to follow. At the same time, there's nothing to turn off. You can't turn it off. You are the business. You are the product. You are the work. You are the entity.
If you look at Donald Trump, for example, he is someone who, whatever if you like him, if you don't like him, he is in his life purpose right now. He is working as president of the United States. He's working 24 hours, sleeping when he can, building his brand, building his kingdom, growing, making strategic alliances not on behalf of America, on behalf of his own family. Him becoming president, it's all about his image. It's all about who he is. Once he retires from office, he'll be the former president of the United States, but people will still refer to him as President Trump. Okay, he will hold that title for the rest of his life. And having such a title opens many doors for you. People want to be around you. People worship you. Trump has a, if you study him, he has a cult-like following. He has a cult of personality built around him that people want to be a part of.
And you care. If you're doing something that's truly yours, you care very deeply. So you can't turn it off. And that's the curse of the entrepreneur. But the benefit of the entrepreneur is that if you're doing it right, if you're doing it for the right reasons with the right people in the right way, and if you can set aside the stress of not hitting your goals, which is real and hard to set aside, then it doesn't feel like work. And that's when you're most productive. You're basically only measured on your output.
What he's describing there is he is describing the flow state. He's describing being absolutely in the zone, consumed by your work, in a place where you are essentially pushing the boundaries of knowledge. Okay, if you're somebody who, let's say your life purpose is teaching salsa, okay, and you have many different students, many people come to you, you coach different people. Once you do that for a couple of years, once you do that, once you teach a few hundred people, you'll end up noticing different patterns. And once you're able to notice the patterns and have workarounds of how to easier and how to teach more efficiently, you're literally connecting different pathways in your brain, and you're creating genius insight. Okay, and doing something like salsa isn't genius in terms of like it's not going to push physics forward, but you are in your zone of genius because that is the field that you have decided to dedicate your life to. Okay, and if you end up connecting those dots, if you end up making progress in the field of salsa dancing, then you will become a leader within that field. People will defer to you. I mean, salsa is cool, man. I've done salsa classes. I love to dance. It's fun, and if somebody was able to teach me salsa very quickly, very efficiently, then I would naturally defer to that person and see them as in essence, a genius, right? If someone could make you learn a new skill and you're a very competent person at that skill, or you end up becoming an expert in that skill, wouldn't you call that teacher a genius, right? And that is the position that I want you to be in. That is the position that you deserve to be in. Don't let other people take away your credentials, your zone of genius, your life purpose. Don't let people box you in. Decide to become who you're meant to be.
And you're only held up to the bar that you raise for yourself. So it can be extremely exhilarating and freeing. And this is why I said a long time ago that a taste of freedom can make you unemployable. And so this is exactly that taste of freedom. It makes you unemployable in the classic sense of 9 to 5.
Yeah, once you are fully in charge of your life, once you are fully in your zone of genius, then it becomes very hard to let go of that freedom, to listen to other people. I mean, you always get good advice, have good mentors around you, but you don't want to be in a position where you have a fucking boss. Do you know what I mean? A boss is just another name for slave master, right? And you don't ever want to be in a position where you have a slave master, where you are treated as a slave, where you are easily replaceable. You want to be in a position where you are seen as valuable for what you bring to the table, not the knowledge that you bring, but you as a person, the insights that you have and the characteristics that you bring, the qualities and skills, all basically, like, you have all these different things amalgamated inside of yourself, and people will pay money for you to be there, not for what you bring to the table, but for you as a person. And once you reach that level, depression will be a thing of the past. Self-doubt will be a thing of the past. You'll be existing as you're meant to exist, doing what you love, living a life that you love, being seen as a leader, being seen as a king. And then when you're at that point, what else is there to do but then live life, enjoy yourself? And then who do you want to be friends with at that point? You'll be people with the similar ambitions as you, similar goals as you, the same sort of drive, work ethic as you, people who have the same status as you, right? And if you become a king in your field, if you become a king of your life, the only people that you want to be friends with is other kings, and there'll be thousands and thousands of women wanting to line up and be your queen.
And following the playbook and having a boss. But once you have broken out of that, once you've walked the tightrope without a net, without a boss, without a job, and by the way, this can even happen in startups, in a small team where you're just very self-motivated. You get what look like huge negatives to the average person, that you don't have weekends, you don't have vacations, and you don't have time off, you don't have work-life balance. But at the same time, when you are working, it doesn't feel like work. It's something that you're highly motivated to do, and that's the reward. And net, I do think.
Yeah, like you said, it doesn't feel like work. It feels like play. It feels like fun. And that is the best position to be. That is the position that I want you to be in. The position where, you know, life becomes easy, life becomes fun, life becomes just a breeze, just a, you know, no more difficulties. There'll always be challenges, don't get me wrong, but you'll be strong enough to face your challenges. You'll be strong enough to, and resilient enough to deal with anything that comes your way, because that's what a true leader does. That's what a king does. Okay. And whatever it is, like we live in a time where like you can literally buy a private island for a couple million. Okay. And you know, you can buy that land, and then you can move there with the people that you want to be around. You know, you can set up a company there. You can set up schools, educational system there. You can build a whole new economy. You know, you can build the world, build the land as you see fit, right? However you imagine the world to be, however you imagine the right way to live is, you know, that decision is in your hand. Okay, you're the decision maker, right? You don't have to defer to anyone else. You'll be deferring to you. To you in yourself. You will have the confidence to make those tough decisions and become and build a life that you are truly proud of.
This is a one-way door. I think once people experience working on something that they care about with people that they really like, in a way they're self-motivated, they're unemployable. They can't go back to a normal job with a manager and a boss and a check-ins and 9 to 5 and, you know, show up this day, this week, sit in this desk, commute at this time.
I think there's a hidden meaning in the tweet too, which I'm guessing is intentional. It starts off with when you truly work for yourself, which I'm guessing most people are going to take that to mean you're your own boss. But the other way that I read it is that you are working for yourself. So your labor is in expression of who and what you are. It's self-expression. And that's not an easy thing to figure out.
Yeah, let's just repeat that last bit again one more time. I think it was
They're going to
important.
take that to mean you're your own boss. But the other way that I read it is
being your own boss, in essence, means that you are in control of your life. You are in charge of your life. You decide whether you fulfill your potential, whether you live your potential, or whether you waste away your potential. Okay, whatever you decide to do with your life is your prerogative. Okay, I'm not here to pass judgment on you, to tell you how to do things. I'm just telling you to make sure that you're doing things and living life on your terms. Okay, I'm here to give you back control of your own destiny, back control of your own life, so you become the fundamental decision maker. Okay, the benefits of living such a life is you reach a level of total satisfaction. You know, you won't be dissatisfied anymore, because life is all about, becomes then about conquering and expanding. Okay, expanding the way that you believe life is to be lived, expanding your knowledge base, expanding your expertise, your genius, expanding your friendship circle, expanding your sphere of influence. Okay, expanding your circle of lovers. Okay, I want you to have a harem of women. I want you to have as many wives as you possibly can handle. And then once you have all those, then I want you to have all the girlfriends in life that you can handle. Okay, I want you to be fully pampered, fully satisfied with your life, with the people that you surround yourself with. Because if you don't, what was the point of being here? Okay, you only have one life. You might as well go all out and enjoy all aspects of life. Let's jump in this video with Peter Griffin.
Get ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. I don't like to hurt people's feelings.
You see Peter Griffin there standing up for himself, taking charge of his own life, okay? But he's concerned about not hurting people's feelings. Listen, you're not in control of people's feelings, okay? If people's feelings get hurt because of your existence, that's on them. That's not on you, okay? Don't let other people stop you from pursuing your goals, pursuing your destiny, pursuing your life and your dreams, just because it hurts their feelings.
You think what you want about me, I'm not changing. I like me. My kids like me. My friends like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, that's a good attitude to have. You know, it is about fully accepting who you are, fully embracing all your flaws, all your limitations, and still moving forward, moving towards your goals, moving into the unknown. Whether you are crippled by fear, crippled by self-doubt, whatever is stopping you, it shouldn't be a reason to stop you. You need to overcome those things and go into the darkness, in essence, a place of the unknown, and conquer any dragons that you may see. Okay, the dragons are your fears, are the obstacles in your life, but the other end of those fears and obstacles is a kingdom waiting for you to be ruled by yourself.
Nobody completes anybody. That's not a real thing. If you're lucky enough to find someone you can halfway tolerate, you sink your nails in and you don't let go, no matter what.
So
that is not how we live. Okay, we are not looking for people that we tolerate. We are looking for people that we enjoy being around, people who we feel fully satisfied with, people who bring the best out in us. Okay, we are looking for the ultimate people in the world, right? There are 10 billion people in the world. Why limit yourself to the worst kind, the people that you just barely tolerate, people that you don't want to speak to, but people that you have to speak to? Okay, they are fake. They are your fake friends. They are your they're just acquaintances, people that you know, people that you tolerate. There's no deep, meaningful friendship. You're not building nothing. And that is who the elites want you to be in touch with. They are the people that the elites want you to be hanging around with, okay? Because when you are around people who are opposite of that, people who uplift you, people who care about you, people who you trust, then you are you create a safe environment for yourself. You create a circle of trust, a circle of competency, and when you're in that circle, people start behaving differently. They end up relaxing. Their serotonin increases, their cortisol drops, and they're able to think more clearly. And once you think more clearly, you are able to have better conversations, more enjoyable conversations. You become funnier. You become more free-flowing. You start thinking creatively, and new ideas will form. Okay, and if you hang around people who are also in their zone of genius, on their life purpose, then you might get an insight from them that helps you connect a dot inside your own head that creates new genius.
what? I should just settle?
Yes, thank you. Exactly.
No, we don't settle. We don't we don't just take what we are given. We always strive for more. We strive for the best. We live the best possible lives. We are true kings. We are united by the alliance of kings. We are building kingdoms. We are expanding territory. We are building new universes. We are going to conquer Mars, all the planets in the solar system. Okay, they all belong to us, and we will be de facto rulers of the world.
Settle, because otherwise you're just going to get older and harder and more alone. And you're going to do everything you can to fill that hole with friends and your career and meaningless sex.
People don't have any sex anymore. People don't have any friends anymore. People are already isolated, hardened by life. People have given up hope. Okay, and what the world needs right now is it needs real leaders. It needs real competent people in charge, not people who are just there to extract resources from the people underneath them, okay? And that is why it is your destiny to become the ruler of the world, of your country, for your people, okay? Because if you don't do it, who else will, right? Like, there are many people who have big dreams, but nobody goes for them because what it is, they have self-doubt stopping them, they have fear stopping them, they don't have a group of friends who are there to encourage them. And that is what we're building. We're building an alliance of true friends, a group of people who work well together, who encourage each other, and who want to live the best possible life.
But the hole doesn't get filled. And one day, you're going to look around and you're going to realize that everybody loves you, but nobody likes you. And that...
Yeah. And even when it comes to women, you don't, a woman's love, who gives a fuck about woman's love, right? But, you don't want to be in a position where you love a woman, because a man, when he loves a woman, he's willing to endure a lot of pain. When he's in love with a woman, he's willing to sacrifice a lot, okay? People, you might be in a, 20-year marriage. You don't actually get on with your partner anymore. You don't like your partner anymore. They actually disgust you deep down, but you still have a love for them, okay? And that love will make you stick around at the detriment of your own life, of your own happiness, right? A woman is not lovable. A woman should be likable, right? Because when you like a woman, you're more excited. You're like, oh, like, I want to do this because I really like her and I want her to be happy. But when you're just in love with a woman, love is all about sacrifice. And that is what a lot of women don't understand about men. That we are the sex that is more responsible in that way. We are more capable of taking great pain and are willing to suffer in order for the family unit to survive, which is what love is, right? Love is about sacrifice. And I want you to be in a position where you aren't sacrificing, you aren't just giving away your love willy-nilly, that the people who get your love, your affection are people who deserve it, okay? And I want to help you find those people, and I want you to be around people that you like, not people that you hate, but have some sort of love for, and you decide to stick around.
Is the loneliest feeling in the world.
Go for Morty!
Hi, Morty. It's Jessica. Look, can we just talk for a minute?
Is that how long it takes for Rick to trace my location?
Come back, Morty. I miss you.
You miss the old me. You miss someone that loved you so much you never had to love him back.
How do you know I don't want to love you?
Because I'm not sick.
You don't want me to be with you. You don't want me to be with someone else. How miserable do I have to be before you're happy?
Like, there's a common theme here. It's like all these guys, all these nice guys, are trying to win the affection of their lover. They're trying to impress their woman. However, they're not getting that same reciprocation of love, of attention, of affection back. And that's all a man wants. They just want to, dedicate themselves to a woman, to love her, but in return have that affection reciprocated, right? However, in today's society, it just doesn't exist. Okay, women have access to all sorts of men nowadays, and they're trying to pick the best one. Okay, and how do you differentiate yourself? How do you stand out in such a marketplace? The only thing that you can do is become somebody who is influential, somebody who is of value, somebody who is seen as someone important. Okay, and the way to do that is to be in your zone of genius and become a king, to establish your kingdom, be seen as a king, be worshipped by your followers. And when you're in a position like that, women will just be lining up to suck your cock, to fuck you, to love you, to win your affection. You are the buyer, not the seller at that point. Okay, and you get to choose what you want, what your flavor of the month is, and enjoy life.
What happened, Bojack?
Same thing that always happens. You didn't know me. Then you fell in love with me. And now you know me.
You know, and this guy is a good example of how frustrated people are. The actual difference is at least these people are interacting with women. The reality is most men are not interacting with women. Most men are lonely. Most men are displaced out of the dating market, and they have no way of getting back in. Okay, they lack the social skills. They lack confidence. They lack economic resources, financial resources, social resources, intellectual resources, and a lot of people are checking out. A lot of people have lost hope, and it is really truly over for a lot of people. Okay, you might be in a similar sort of spot, you might be in a similar sort of position, but what I'm telling you is to have faith and, you know, embark on this call to action. You know, this is your hero's journey, right? This is the moment in the film where you decide to take full responsibility of your life, to heed the call and build something for yourself, take freedom for yourself, and grow a pair of balls so big, so strong, where you are fearless, full of confidence, living a truly meaningful life.
Well, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh my god, I'm student of the month for 48 consecutive months. Great, honey, great. But you know, it is Bart's birthday. No, this is fine. Just let me fix this. There, now it's all about you. Happy?
I'm just afraid of what'll happen because part of me is still waiting for Margaret to come back. What? Still? She's not coming back, dude. She's gone. Look,
Don't give away your power like that. Do you know what I mean? Don't be reliant on other people to fill the hole in your heart, in your soul, to have other people you know, be your purpose in life. Okay, reconcile every aspect of yourself. You know, become content within yourself, become happy by yourself. And from a position like that, you know, when you start dating from a position where you truly understand yourself, where you integrated your own shadow, where you have you know, when you're just comfortable in your own skin, that is when you become attractive. Okay, and you know, that is a position I want you to be in. And the way we do that is by uncovering your zone of genius, by becoming somebody who is competent, somebody who is seen as a leader, a thought leader, a subject matter expert, and you will become someone who starts their own group, has their own following, establishes the kingdom, and becomes the de facto ruler and the king of your nation.
I know, all right? I know. It's just, I mean, I don't still have feelings for her, but I do in a way. It's like this thing that's inside of me. It's always just sort of sitting there, waiting around. Sometimes I'll see something, or I'll smell something, and it makes me think of her, even though I don't want to.
Yeah, it's just that you know, he has no self-love, he has no sense of purpose in life, so he's hoping that this other person will come in and be their source of happiness, be their source of contentment. But that's just not how the world works. You know, the world is in a difficult place right now, and you know, if you are stuck, you know, you have to come to terms with there might be a possibility that you'll be stuck in the same position for the rest of your life, and that is not what I want for you. There's good people who have great skills, who have great knowledge, who aren't able to ascend to the next level, and I'm saying fuck that. Take control of your life, push yourself forward, and become the de facto ruler in the world. Let's jump into this other video. Let me say up, hang on. Okay.
Hundreds of the most creative people in history created their best art. Painters, poets, musicians, filmmakers, you name it, across every domain, genre, and movement. And here's what I discovered. The greatest artists do not play by the usual rules that most artists play by. Not even close.
Yeah, and even great leaders, great geniuses, you have to master your domain. You have to understand all the rules, all the, get all the fundamental knowledge within your field, and then you have to decide, how do you take it a step further, right? And what happens is you have to understand all the rules, follow all the rules, and you have to break all the rules. Okay, and once you're able to do that, you uncover new insights that can help you get your goal.
In this video, I'm breaking down the 6 most important lessons in my notes that I learned from them. Lessons that you can steal to completely transform how you create. If you care about your art, your music, and your craft, like really care, what I have to share is something that you need to hear. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. Okay, so the first lesson is something that resonated with me the most. Most artists are trying to make something that everyone will like. This seems reasonable. Like if more people connect with it, it must be better, right? But the greatest creators I studied didn't go wide. They went deep.
Yeah, and you have to remember is when Vincent van Gogh was creating his art, he was only able to showcase it to a limited amount of people, right? If he was alive today, he would literally put it on Instagram, and if people fucked with it, they will share it and spread his work for him. Okay, so don't be afraid of putting yourself out there, putting your work out there, because in a world full of 10 billion people, can you not even find 10, 50, 100 people that fuck with you, right? And if each of those 100 people paid you $100, right, then you have $100,000 from 100 people, right? So don't limit yourself. I think that's 10,000. If 100 people paid you $1,000, that's 100,000. Yep. Don't limit yourself. Don't put a cap on yourself. Don't be afraid of because having one true friend is more valuable than all the billions of people in the world, right? So put yourself out there. Don't be afraid. Don't let people box you in and decide your fate for you.
They made work for one person or one feeling or one version of themselves that needed the message the most. I used to think that the goal of creativity was to make something universal, something big. But that's actually backwards. Van Gogh didn't paint for the world, he painted for his brother. Maya Angelou was outspoken about how she wrote poetry for the wounded version of herself. This is one of the strangest paradoxes of creating art. The more personal it is, the more universal it feels. If you try to impress everyone, you end up impressing no one. But if you go all in on touching one person deeply, you end up moving thousands. So before you start...
Yeah, because what's most personal to you is actually most universal, right? So if you create something for a very specific person, or you create something for yourself, and if it truly resonates with your own soul, it resonates with everyone's soul, because all souls in the world come from the same place. Okay, we all come from the great divine, call it God, call it whatever, but it all goes back to the same place. Okay, and there is something within ourselves that if we see something that resonates and touches us, we truly can connect with a person that has made us feel that way. Okay, if you think of great artists, songwriters, singers, who, like, say they create a song that you really like because it touches a part of their soul, and in turn it touches a part of your soul, and then you have two souls that connect at that point. So but you have to take that risk to put yourself out there. You have to take that first step to find the souls that connect with you in your life.
creating your next song or a painting, define your emotional avatar. Like, who is this really for? Is it a younger version of you? Someone in pain? Someone falling in love? Then once you have that avatar, create from that lens. Every decision will be easier. Even right now, when I create these videos, I don't create them for you. I create them for my wife. And in turn, some of you guys like them. But here's the thing. Even with a clear audience in mind, the question is, how do you actually find your voice? Well, another lesson I learned from my studies is about that. If you think great artists discover their style, you're wrong. Style isn't found, it's built. You know, it's constructed. It's done intentionally with hundreds of experiments, iterations, and reflections until a pattern emerges. James Baldwin said it best. You don't find your voice, you make it. You decide who you are, then build the muscle.
Yeah, you make that decision. You take it upon yourself to decide and tell the world who you are. Because if you don't tell the world who you are, the world will decide who you are and put you in a category. They will put you in a box. You know, you will not develop a personality, and people will associate you with just what you can provide. And if you are tied into just what you can provide, then you are easily replaceable. We live in a time where AI may or may not take away a lot of jobs. They will take away a lot of data analyst jobs, a lot of basically anything on the computer where AI can be plugged into can and will be done by AI, with humans maybe overseeing it, where once you needed maybe 100 humans, you can now just have one person overseeing it. I don't want you to be in a position where you're easily replaceable. I want you to be in a position where you cannot be replaced, and I want you to explore that within yourself, bring out that part of your personality, and, you know, establish something unique, something for yourself, something that you are proud of, and live a life that you are content with.
To be that. So I challenge you, in 30 days, make 20 paintings or songs.
Yeah, the more you do, the more you try, the more you fail. And the more you fail, the more you realize what not to do and how you can improve and do better. Okay. But the effort that you put in is what is important. And yeah, the effort you put in is important, because that's the only way that you can take steps towards greatness, take steps towards success. Okay, let's jump into this other video that I wanted to show you about a film by Gox called Caffeine. I mean, it's a shame he only looked at number 1, because I think number 2 would have been modafinil, and number 3 would have been cocaine. You know, that's if you truly want to stay awake and you want to have a good time, the best place to start is with a few lines of coke. Yeah, like I think he hit a mark there. He should have done a film about cocaine instead of caffeine. And if you notice, like he created this, like I think this film is like 2 minutes long, so it's not very long. But he created it, you know, maybe I think he created it on just a small camera, whatever camera you got, right? You could have created it on an iPhone, and just edited it to make it look like differently, put some effects on it to make it look like a different, like give it that more grainy feel to it. You know, but it's just imagination, it's creativity. You know, it is something that he decided he wanted to do, and he was able to do it. He was able to execute it. You know, and it was just then that effort that it took, you know, for him to complete something that he's probably proud of. You know, and that's the position I want you to be in. That's the position that you deserve to be in. Doesn't that make you just want to have a cup of coffee? You know, the love and effort that he put into it, you know, to making a delicious caffeinated beverage. And it tastes like shit. There you go. I thought that was great. I thought that was quite fun. I like the music to it. But yeah, let's jump back to this guy.
Or whatever your craft is. Stick to one tool, one theme, or any one constraint. The limitations of time and output will actually force your voice to emerge. And as you start building your voice, there's one thing that matters way more than most creators think. And it's actually in the next lesson. Most of the greatest art of all time had nothing to do with inspiration. It was all about obsession. Forget chasing inspiration. Inspiration is fleeting. On the other hand, obsession is sustainable. It's not a spark. It's more like a fire you
And that's what I'm talking about. I want you to be obsessed. I want you to be not inspired, but I want you to have that itch within yourself to do the work that you love, to do something and bring about something that is genius, something that is worthwhile to society, something that you believe in, are passionate about. Okay, and they're the type of people that I want to meet. I want to meet the passionate people. I want to meet the geniuses, the future geniuses, people that I can help uncover their genius, their creative zone, their spark of passion in their life to create something new. Okay, and the more people we have like that on our team, the more people we have like that within our alliance, you know, United Alliance of Kings, then who else would you want to be friends with at that point, right? And when we're together, we will work hard, we will take over the globe, we will become benevolent rulers, philosopher kings, and we will party, have the best parties in the world, you know, the biggest parties, the best parties, and have the hottest models, the best entertainment, all for us, you know, not for anyone else. You know, it'll be all for us and our followers.
tend to. Michelangelo worked on the Sistine Chapel for 4 years straight. Jero, the sushi master, made rice for 10 years before he allowed himself to even touch fish. I am obsessed.
But I don't want you to wait 10 years before you do anything. I want you to get to the top as quick as possible. Okay, I want you to taste success, live a life of luxury as soon as possible. I want you to be fully pampered. Okay, because once you are fully pampered, you get the best sleep, the best food, be around the best people, create an environment where you have a positive hormones flowing through your body, positive ideas going through your mind. And once you're in the zone like that, you can free your mind and be more creative to come up with genius ideas.
Obsessed with creativity. I've been enamored by its power since I was a kid. Its ability to calm me down, to clear my mind, to communicate my ideas and how I feel. I spent the last 10 years spreading art education around the world in every continent except Antarctica. And over the last 4 years, I read countless research studies on creativity and did deep dives into creative geniuses. After all my life spent passionate about creativity, I just started creating these videos to share my passion with the world. So ask yourself this: what would you keep doing?
Yeah, you have to understand that a person like that who is obsessed about creativity, who's studying creativity, you know, he is in his life's purpose, he is in his zone of genius. And the more he studies, the more he reads about it, the more he practices. I'm sure the art you can see in the background there is something that he created. The more you do something like that, is the more insights you will have, and you'll be able to bring something new, some new knowledge, like this guy is bringing here. Okay, he is literally summarizing a vast amount of knowledge to give you the easiest and most straightforward path towards creativity.
If nobody ever saw it, think about that, because that's a clue as to where your obsession lies. Once you find it, go all in on that. By the way, If you would like access to all my notes on creativity from the last 4 years, all my insights, tap the link in the description.
And he's making money. Okay, I don't want you to be somebody who does shit for free. I want you to be somebody who gets paid for what you're worth, gets paid for the value you bring, right? Like this guy spent 4 years of his life amalgamating all this knowledge, synthesizing it, and he should be rewarded correctly for it. So he's doing the right thing. He is selling his insight.
And tell me where I should send them. Okay, so the next lesson is one that addresses something that most people let kill their momentum. I know you're gonna hate to hear this one. It's perfectionism. Perfection kills more great art than failure.
Yeah, don't be a perfectionist. Just throw as much shit as you can against the wall, and then the more you throw, the more things will start sticking, and then the more things stick, the more of the mental picture that you can develop, building a clear map of reality, of how you can achieve success. Okay, of how you can create something that is new, right? Don't let anything stop you, right? You'll get more done going forwards than sitting, locking yourself in a room and trying to think of an idea of what to do.
You ever will. Perfectionism feels like ambition, but it's actually fear in disguise. Every creative genius I studied had a release fast, refine later mentality. Beyonce made 80 songs for her Lemonade album before narrowing them down to just 12. Picasso made 147,800 works in his life. Stephen King writes 2,000 words every single day, no exceptions, no waiting for inspiration or anything like that. These creators were great because they made a lot. They weren't waiting for perfection. They were producing. And ironically,
become a producer. Don't end up being a mindless consumer. The current world is built on mindless consumption. You can see it on the algorithms that TikTok is pushing, Twitter, YouTube, what have you. It's all about keeping you hooked and not producing anything. Okay, stop that process, stop that endless loop. Become a producer of goods, become a producer of creativity. Bring out your ideas in your head. And if you have no ideas right now, just think about what you wish you could produce, right? And then make an attempt at it. And the more you try it, the closer you get, and then one day you'll have all the success that you ever dreamed of.
That's what allowed them to reach perfection more often. In creativity, quantity creates quality. So you should simply create more. Set some sort of release rhythm, 1 piece a day or 1 piece a week. Share it.
It's the same thing with if you're going to the gym or you're going for a run, sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym, and then what I usually tell myself is, all right, well, I'm only gonna drive by the gym, go inside for 5 minutes and do some 10 minutes worth of stretching. And you go in there and I stretch for 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes I'm like, right, well, now I might as well just do one exercise. And you do one exercise and you trick yourself to the next and the next and the next thing 45 minutes have gone by, an hour's gone by, and then you've done a full workout for the day, right? Sometimes you have to put in place those things to kind of grease the wheel for you, to make it as easy as possible for you to achieve your goal, right? Like when I come and live stream, I just place my laptop here, turn the light on, get the microphone. I have these little steps, this little checklist I do, and next thing I know, what we're gonna do is end up hitting go live, and I start my live stream. But that is it for today. Thank you for joining us. And we have a quick message. Hidden channel 3902 100. Yep. 10022, man. I hope you 100% success. Your profile pic is that Planet of the Apes. Love Planet of the Apes. One of my favorite films. One of the scariest films, because it really foreshadowed the coming pandemic and how quickly it can spread. If you watch Planet, I think Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, if you watch that first film and the end credit or just before it, you see the little map of the globe with how quickly the virus spread around the world. Yeah, keep it 100 too, hidden channel, and but yeah, that is it. I want you to be successful. I want you to start your kingdom. I want you to be somebody that is of value to the world. I want you to establish your genius, become a leader, establish a kingdom, and be seen as a king. But have a good day. Thank you, and take care.